Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing okay. I thought I would jump on here for a little bit because it's the international break. Arsenal aren't playing until the weekend, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk a bit about the transfer window, to answer some of your questions. And yeah, I always love doing these to kind of interact with you all, and I know that it's lovely to do this. And yeah, I thought I'd jump on today. Hey Harry, lovely to see you in the chat. I'm all good, thank you. How are you doing? It's really nice to see you here checking out the video. But yeah, hope you guys are all doing okay. I'm going to go through a few little transfers that have been floating around. I'll give you my opinion and hopefully you guys can let me know what you think as well in the comments. But yeah, really looking forward to chatting with you guys about this. And I hope you guys do enjoy the stream. Hey Emerson, hope you're all good and keeping well. Lovely to see you on here. I'm going to start off by talking a bit about a transfer that has surprised me. I don't think it's going to happen. I feel like I'm 90% sure it won't happen. I think it's just speculations, and Bayern Munich have shown some interest in Tomiyasu. And I think one of the big reasons why they're interested in Tomiyasu is because he's very versatile. He can play in a few different positions. We've seen him at centre back, full back. He plays either on the right or the left hand side at the back. So he gives you that option, which I think a lot of teams will like from him. And you know what? I think he's played about 10 games for us so far, and he's really showing why he's so underrated, why he deserves to be in the starting lineup. I feel like he's doing really well. He's got a lot of confidence, and he's probably one of our most important players right now defensively, in my opinion. But I know when you're good, teams will be after you, and this is what does happen. So it's unfortunate. If Bayern wants Thomas, that means they see, yeah, exactly. They must see that he's got a lot of potential and that he's a good player. So that's why, if someone's interested in you, it means you're really good at what you're doing. But yeah, Tomiyasu does have 2 years left on his deal, with an option as a third. But I've seen a lot of rumours that Arsenal are looking to, extend his contract, because Arsenal have extended quite a few players' contracts, especially our fullbacks. So I do think this would be a good opportunity for Tomiyasu. And yeah, I just think he's a very important player for us. I think we definitely have to make sure he's staying with us. But like I've said, I don't think this is going to happen. I only kind of come on to kind of talk about rumours because you never know what happens in football, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't think this is happening, but it shows you that Bayern really must believe in Tomiyasu as a player and must think he's very talented. But for me, really think he's a fantastic player in the Premier League for Arsenal. And I feel like whenever he plays, I'm always proud of his performances. He's doing really well for Arsenal. And yeah, I just feel like he's getting into the rhythm of things. I know that I've heard he will be out for a little while because he's doing a thing with his international, and it's about a cup. So we will have to survive without him. But yeah, Bayern Munich really are interested in him, but I think Arsenal very much shut it down and not allowing that. And I think Tomiyasu is probably happy here at Arsenal, probably settled and wants to win some trophies with Arsenal. They've done wonders with Harry Kane. Yeah, honestly, he's doing amazing things. I would say for me, he's probably better than Haaland right now. But obviously it's a different league, and obviously, I do wish Harry Kane well. I think he's like thriving so much at Bayern Munich. I can't keep count of how many goals he scored. I feel like it's just under 20, which is absolutely insane as the full season's not finished yet. So I just feel like he's a beast. He's incredible what he's doing. For England as well, helping us with that draw. But yeah, definitely think this is an interesting move. But like I've said, don't really see this happening because I feel like yeah, he's happy here, and I don't see Arteta wanting to sell him. So fingers crossed, everything stays how it is. Now, I did want to touch on the midfield with Thomas Partey. Now, I actually found this stat out today, which did blow my mind a bit. Obviously, Tomiyasu's been here for a few seasons now, but I've heard that he's missed in total 60 games, which is about 36% of games that he's missed. So I feel like when he's playing, when he's fit, he's probably one of the most he's probably the best defensive midfielder, or one of the best. We know how good Rodri is, but he is up there for the best in the league, and we love him when he's playing, and we really need him. That Man City game, we needed him in that game, which luckily he was playing. But for me, I'm open to selling him because his injuries, I feel like, are too much at this point. Like, he gets injured like 3 times a season, and I just can't keep up with it. And for us as a team, we need someone in that midfield to help Declan Rice. Like, yes, Jorginho can fill in and do a good job, but we need someone on Rice's level because we need to get the best out of Declan Rice. And obviously, Declan Rice is doing really good at the moment, but for me, definitely feel like we need to bring a midfielder in. And obviously, Douglas Luiz is someone that has been rumoured to come to Arsenal. Obviously, he's Aston Villa doing well there, but yeah, I'm going to ask you guys a question. I'm going to sort of talk about it, but would he improve our midfield? Because I feel like, obviously, I feel like I'd be open to having him. I know we've been linked with him quite a few times, but I don't know what would happen there. Would anything go of that? But yeah, I feel like it'd be good to have him. Obviously, he's doing good at Villa. Villa are obviously trying to eventually get in the Champions League, and obviously at the moment they're aiming for the Europa League. So I feel like this would be a good step for him in his career to be in a team like Arsenal, to be in the Champions League kind of team, and to be in a successful Arsenal team full of young players. And we obviously need that experience in him. But I don't know if I see Villa selling him in January, because I know they'll need all the players they can to obviously get like to the top 6, top 4. I think they're aiming very high this season, Villa, so they won't want to lose him. But ultimately, we are very short in midfield, so we do need to bring some players in to help us, I believe. So for me, it does excite me. I do feel happy about this, but I just think we need a midfielder that really is on Partey's level, because he will be back after Christmas, I think, but his injuries are quite, they're quite damaging for us, because we obviously really miss him, and it's hard when players are always injured. I think with Jesus, I think that's a bit different, because I don't think his injuries are as long or as bad. So yeah, I do think that he'll be okay, and he should be back soon. He's been training in Brazil, which is so yeah. I just think that it's going to be good for Jesus to be back. Odegaard seems to be back too, which is really exciting. We're getting some of our best players back, so I can't wait for this. And I'm really excited. Obviously, Jesus has been doing full training in the past few games, and he could start Tuesday's night clash against the world champion Reigns in Brazil. So I do think he could start that game. Will he start the Brentford game at the weekend? Hope so, because I think we need that. But if not, definitely start Trossard for me and give him the opportunity. But that's some positive news to kind of talk about. Jesus coming back. Hopefully Odegaard will be back on the bench, and it's quite interesting now looking back with Odegaard, because a lot of people did criticise him for his performances, and now that he's had injuries, it kind of tells you why he might have been struggling a bit with his energy, with things he usually does dead easy on the pitch. So but yeah, I do feel like we've got some real positive news. Obviously, the players have had a rest. I know Saka, Declan Rice have had a few minutes in the England game. I'm kind of glad when Southgate does give the players a rest, the Arsenal players, because I know with Saka he gets injured quite a lot, and that's obviously difficult. He gets played too much, in my opinion. So I feel like him having that rest is so important for him, for his mental health, physical health, and hopefully Saka will be okay for the weekend's game. So yeah, fingers crossed with that. Douglas Luiz is an interesting one, of course, as I mentioned, but yeah, definitely open to that. And now Ruben Neves has been one that has been linked to it, and I would happily have him. I feel like he'd be a great move for Arsenal. I think he's a great player for Wolves. I'm going to just talk about what a journalist has mentioned, because he probably works very close to Arteta, and I just want to kind of discuss what he said. So it's actually Fabrizio Romano has said, from what I'm told, Arteta has been a fan of Ruben Neves. He's always appreciated the player since he was at Wolves. He's always one of the midfielders that he has indicated to the directors and to Edu in the meetings over the past 2 or 3 years. Discussing midfielders, the name of Ruben Neves has always been around, but at the moment there are no negotiations. So looks like Arteta at the moment is just showing that interest in him, and that's kind of it. I think for me, really good to see Edu is a big fan of him as well. Dead open to this. I'd be really happy if he joined the club. Feel like I'm probably more keen on him than Douglas Luiz right now, but I would be open to both of them. So I feel like for me, he's got that experience. I feel like he would really fill in for Partey. And obviously Declan Rice as well, we've got to put in mind that if he does get injured, I think our team's going to really struggle without Declan Rice. I feel like he's got so many incredible leadership qualities on the pitch already, and he just improves his team massively. It's incredible how well he's slotted into that midfield. So for me, it's really going to help on midfield if we brought him in. And yeah, great to see Arteta's keen on him. I know his name had been floating about for a little while, but I'm really glad Arteta's interested in him. I hope in January possibly he can come, but I don't know if he would. That's the only issue, because I know what an important player he is. So we're just going to have to see if it would would have to get him in the summer. What would go on in that situation, because I know it is a bit of a tough one because he's such a great player. So yeah. I'm going to read your comment. Ellison, what value would you put on Partey if we sell him? That is a really good question. I think obviously he gets injured, and I still not taking away what a good player he is. I think I can't really remember how much you bought him for, but I do think he's probably worth maybe, I'd say probably 50 or more. And the reason why I say that is because, yes, he's had injuries, but I still think he's a fantastic player. We know Rodri's up there for being one of the best in the league, but I do feel like he's up there as well. I feel like he's the second best, if not, because when he plays for Arsenal, he transforms his team. We are like a different Arsenal. We are much more organised, and he helps the defenders, stay in their place, and he helps the attacking players in their position. So I think he is worth a lot of money for everything he does for us on the pitch. But the injury is a real issue because he's very inconsistent with his injuries. Like I've said before, during his time at Arsenal, he's missed like 60 games with injuries. I think that's absolutely a mad stat to pull out. I think it's crazy, but it doesn't surprise me because each season he's always had an injury that's affected us. And now the season where, can't remember, I think it might have been the season when we tried to get top four, and Partey's hamstring just went when Spurs won that and Son was on the counter attack. I just feel like in important moments, Partey always gets injured, and it is really tough. It's hard to take. I just wish he didn't get injured in the most important moments, if I'm being honest, because he is a fantastic player. And I always said that I do think that he makes Odegaard look like a better player. I feel like it really suits Odegaard with his style of play and what he does on the pitch. So, I just really hope when he comes back after Christmas, then he won't have many serious injuries, because with his injuries, they're always quite long term. I've noticed they'll always be months out, and it's so frustrating because he's a very important player. So the injury situation is really not good at all. Hello, hope you're okay. Lovely to see you on here, Hadda. Harry's asked, how do you feel about Jesus not being consistent? I think obviously he does get injured a lot, and it's a big blow for us. I feel like it affects our team a lot, and it's not really what we need. And the striker situation is another one. What are we going to do about that? Who are we going to put up front? I know Eddie Nketiah has been on the bench quite a lot. Trossard's been coming in. Havertz has been playing. But yeah, I feel like he is our best striker at the club. I think when you've seen some of his Champions League goals, they are absolutely unreal. And we just want to see more of that in the league. But I suppose because he's injured a lot, it's hard to see that. It's hard for him to get into the rhythm of games when he's injured quite frequently. But as I mentioned, hopefully he's going to be back to his best very soon. I'm hoping that for the Brentford game he's going to be playing. I really hope that is the case because I feel like he will really help us in that game. He'll be that bright spark, and obviously we do have the bench if we do need other players to come on. Like if it's not gelling with Jesus, if he's not fit enough, if it's not the right time, we've always got Trossard to come on. I feel like Trossard's a fantastic super sub to have, so I feel like he's going to really help us with that. So yeah, I think Jesus this season is going to be massive, but I do think we need to bring another striker in because obviously we do have Eddie at the club, but I just don't know if he is able to kind of win us a league. I don't know if he is that consistent. He's not. I don't know if he's that much of a consistent player. So I feel like, yeah, it is tough, and I would want a striker, especially in the January transfer window. And Arsenal have also been linked with another player called Marcus Leonardo, and I've been reading up about this, seeing what people have been saying, and he is quite young. I feel like Manchester United are interested in him too, but I definitely think he will want a change in moving clubs. And at the moment, yes, United do have a big history and are a big team, but I feel like, he's only 20, it'd be the right move for us. And yeah, I just see this really being a successful move. He has hit 17 goals for Santos during the 2023 campaign with the Brazilian team. And we've got another Brazilian, so that would be amazing to have him here at Arsenal. So yeah, obviously there have been quite a lot of offers for him to move on, and he did want to stay at this club he was at. But he seems like he wants to have that move now, which I think's the right time for us. I would really be happy with this. I know that he's probably not well known. He's very young, but we are a young team. We do have experience now. When I just see him fitting into this team, I kind of see him being like a Martinelli in a way. But I think he could be that striker, that forward that we really need at the moment. So I hope this happens. It's been quite new, this news, but as I said before, United have shown that interest in him too. Hopefully he won't go there. But you never know, and we don't know if this is going to happen. I do really take these transfer windows kind of like a pinch of salt. I don't kind of get too carried away with them because, things change in footballs. Rumours kind of change weekly, so you never really know. But yeah, be open to that. Good to see Arsenal have shown a bit of interest in that, and yeah, thinking that'd be great news. Hey Josh, hope you're all good. Lovely to see you in here. Emerson, Partey 40 million to Saudi. How does that sound? I have seen this about the Saudi team, and I think my opinion is that with Saudi, it does seem all about money. And I feel like if we did get 40 million for Partey, I could accept that. I think 50 would be a bit more reasonable for me, but at the end of the day, we need to find the right replacement for Partey. If Arteta in his head and if Eddie were thinking we need to move Partey on as injuries are happening too much, do you think they need to find the right replacement for him? Obviously, Declan Rice has been the perfect replacement. Xhaka's gone, and I do think we miss him, but I think it's hard. We are filling gaps, but we need the right players to fill the gaps for me. Obviously Havertz has came in, and I feel like we've not really seen the best of him yet, so it's all about having the right replacement. Emerson said, I personally value Partey at 35 million due to his injuries and and when he signed him, he was never injured when he was at Atletico Madrid. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if he's got more injured because it's like a new league. He's had to have a lot of responsibility by playing a lot of time. I know the Premier League is quite a fast league, and some of the best players are coming over here, so it is interesting to figure out why he's suffered so many injuries and while he's been over here. So yeah, I think 40-50 million, I'm with you on here, Josh, and I think that'd be the right amount because it does happen quite a lot. I think if he didn't have the injuries, I'd probably want to keep him more, and the club, his value would go up a lot more. But because of the injuries and everything that's been going on, I do think that has a big effect on his price tag. Had a hello. Will Mary Earps join us in January? Please tell us. I hope so. It'd be nice to have her at Arsenal. I do actually like Mackenzie Arnold from West Ham, and she is the Australian goalkeeper, so I would like her too. But yeah, I think it looks like this could be Sinsberger's last season. I personally think. I know she signed a 1-year deal last season, so yeah, I think we are needing a new goalie. But I don't know if United would want to get rid of her. Obviously not. They want to keep her. I know Mary loves United, but Russo I thought loved United, and look what happened. So people surprise you, but you never know what happens. Keep the faith, and we'll have to see. Harry's asked, "Are you happy about Beth Mead returning?" Yeah, I think it's really good news. Obviously, she got the England call up, and she's a part of the squad for November, and I think this is exactly what we need to hear. And yeah, I feel so thrilled for her. I feel like this is the right time for her to be back. I think Serena's obviously seen that she's had a bit of game time. She's starting to play. She's starting to get her confidence back. So for me, I'm really happy to see this happen and to see her get this opportunity to be back in the England team. And it just feels like the right time. She got her first full start in the WSL. Recently, so I feel like it's the right time, right moment for her. But yeah, really happy for Beth Mead. Arsenal women are doing really good at the moment. Obviously we're second, and I couldn't really be happier. So I feel like both Arsenal women and men are doing really good things. 3-0 against Brighton was a really good win for us. Very professional win, and obviously Beth Mead's had to face a lot of ups and downs, and she's obviously really having some positivity times at the moment. So of course, very pleased for her. Now, I did want to answer some questions as well. I did put like a little Q&A on Twitter. I've got a few questions to answer. I also will kind of answer this one as well. Zubimendi is the ideal replacement for Partey and could be a loan signing with an option to buy in the summer. Yeah, I think it's all about finding the right replacement for Partey, because if we get rid of him, I think that's a big move. I think his injuries are very massive for the club, and I think I'd get if we got rid of him. But like you said, Emerson, it's about bringing the right replacement in for him and to help us, win the league. If we did get rid of him, I think I'd probably wait till the summer. But yeah, we definitely got to bring someone in for sure. Now, as I mentioned, I did kind of ask some of you guys to send me a few questions in our Twitter. So I did think that I could answer a few of them. And if you guys have questions on the chat, just send them in. I will answer your questions right away. Now, Chris Welch has asked me quite a few questions, and I'm going to start off with this one. Was Haaland or any City player robbed of the Ballon d'Or? Now, obviously, Messi did win it, and I think Messi's had a phenomenal career, and he deserves all the success, all the awards in the world. But for me, Man City won a treble last season. And much as it pained me to say that and to see they won the league, I feel that Haaland should have won it personally for the season he had. He had such an incredible season. And yeah, definitely a few Man City players deserve to be up there, but I'm very strong about Haaland being up there because, had such an incredible season, really. And I feel like he deserved to be in the spotlight more and had that moment because of what he did with Man City and everything he's doing. So yeah, that's my opinion on that, really. Do feel like he deserved to win it. I mean, it's hard because you can't argue with what Messi's done and the career he's had, but I feel like, it kind of, I don't think Haaland shouldn't have kind of gone out of that. I feel like he should have won it. I feel very strongly on that because what a season Haaland's had, it was really incredible. But I know it's obviously kind of tough decision, really. Now, Chris, you have asked me such a difficult question. Should Arteta be sacked if you don't progress from last season? For example, if you don't win a trophy or don't challenge for the title. I think it's obviously tough because we've been through a lot of Arteta. We've had this process, and if I'm being honest, I think it's been worth it in the end. We've been through some really dull moments, but I feel like we've got out of that now, and I'm just kind of happy with where we are. I do think, in my head, I do think we are going to win something this season. I think obviously the league is a difficult one because there are other teams in there. There's other teams you can kind of argue about if they could win it. Liverpool much better this season. Man City, obviously, I feel like it's between Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. But yeah, I do think for me that we will win something. But hypothetically, if we didn't, I don't know if I'd get him sacked, but it kind of would have to depend where we are in the table because I think if we came out of top four, which would be crazy, I think you would have every right to complain about that because it is a bit of a, we've gone from being so close to being first and dropping down out of top four. But I feel like as long as we're sustaining it, I think Arteta's the right man for the job. But if we didn't sustain it, you do have to ask questions. That's what I would say about whether the club is going in the right direction and if Arteta has been given enough money to kind of bring the right players in to help us be successful. So do you think it's not just Arteta you'd have to question, it's a bit of everyone, a bit about the board. So yeah, that's a tough question to answer, but I would say that's kind of my answer to that. Harry, you have asked me a question on Twitter that I will answer now. Do you think Kai Havertz played better at left back? Well, not gonna lie, it did surprise me. Obviously Havertz scored for Germany, played a left back, which was a bit surprising, can't lie, but didn't expect that, and obviously very happy for him to score the goal that he really deserved. I feel like this could help his confidence when he comes back to Arsenal because I know that it's a bit of a difficult situation at Arsenal. He's not probably getting the love he wants and his performances are kind of up and down. He'll have some good moments, he'll have moments where he struggles. So I feel like it is quite a difficult one, isn't it? So I don't think I would play him at left back at Arsenal because I feel like he wouldn't get in over Zinchenko. Tomiyasu, I know Tomiyasu can play it right back too, but he does kind of usually play it left back sometimes. You see, Tomiyasu does play both positions, but I don't think he would get in over them. But I feel like if we do that, are we missing something in midfield? So it's a weird one, really, a tough one. But very happy he got that goal, of course. I think it was what he needed for his confidence. And there was so much support for him online from Arsenal fans. And like the majority of us just want to see him do well, want to see him be successful. But when you're not seeing the performances you want from him, when you're not seeing the goals, the assists, it's really hard to get behind him and support him. But I think as fans, I think we're just going to see how it goes, really. Tough one to call right now, but yeah, as Harry mentioned, really, really happy that he got that goal for his country, and I do hope that this will help him with his confidence going forward in the long run with the season. But obviously I do know that it is a bit tough, really. Now I'm going to answer another question Chris has asked me. Would you replace Gareth? No. Who would you replace Gareth Southgate with as an England manager? You know what? I'll speak on Gareth Southgate. I feel like my opinion on him is with the Euros, to get to a final was absolutely incredible, and I'm not going to sit here and blame him for us losing that final because I honestly respect him so much as a person and as a player, and how much he supported the players after that loss. It shows you that he is a really important manager for the boys. I know they look up to him, but if you're asking, I don't think we will be very successful under him. Like when I think of the Lionesses, I feel like this team is successful. Obviously, we've won the Euros, and I just feel like we're going in the right direction with the Lionesses, with Serena. Like she is the right manager for the club and for the country, but with Gareth Southgate, it's a tough one. I don't think we play the best football. I do think he has favourites, I will be honest. There's players like Maguire, Henderson, they're in the team, and you have to question that. Players like Sterling, for me, should be in there. He's doing really good for Chelsea. I know that he's not, at the moment, he isn't the Sterling he was at Man City, but he's really getting back to that now. So I don't really agree with his decisions, and if a new manager came in, I think it would be a good opportunity, but if you're asking who, honestly, it's really hard to tell. I'm quite open to a few people. But yeah, I feel like we've just got to really see how it goes. But I feel like, for me, I just don't really enjoy watching England at all. I just find it boring. Um, I mean, do you know what I've always said? Years ago when Wenger had options to kind of go to other teams, he was offered to go to, I'm sure, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and he stayed at Arsenal. I would have took Wenger because just imagine him managing like the Rooneys, the talented players there. That would really be incredible. I do feel like, yeah, in prime Wenger could have really done well there. um, but there are names floating around. Obviously, people have mentioned like Graham Potter. Um, Obviously, I think for me, Eddie Howe's doing amazing. I feel like if he was an England manager, that would be incredible. He's doing really good for Newcastle. But obviously, I do feel like Frank Lampard, what he achieved as a footballer was incredible, and you can't take away what he's done. But I just don't know if I feel like him being a manager is the right thing, because I'm not sure it kind of suits him really. But you know what? I feel like, yeah, Graham Potter obviously did well for Brighton. There are a few names you could kind of bring up there, but it is tough. I feel like I just don't see any change really. I mean, do you know what I would take if I'm being honest? Which absolutely sounds mental, but I would take Guardiola because I don't think he'll have long left at City. I feel like what else can he win? He's won the Champions League, he's won the league, he's won cups. Like, why is he here? Like, can he just leave? So you never know, that could happen. Hello Tyrell, hope you're doing okay. But yeah, I'm just talking about who could replace the England manager Gareth Southgate. I think Gareth Southgate is well respected, which is rightly so. He does deserve that. But I do think it's important for us to change managers soon. But getting to final in the Euros was really good. The World Cup, I think we did it. We gave it a good go. I was really proud of the boys, but yeah, it's obviously a tough decision if we will change anything with managers, but I don't see it happening because I feel like if him going, he would have to kind of say, I want to leave, which I know he wouldn't want to do, which is a tough one. And I did kind of want to talk a bit about Spurs as well, because as we know, Everton got a point deduction. I think it might have been 10 to 15 points. And it's looking like Spurs could get that too, which is, for me, really good news. I would personally love that. I feel like it'd be funny, be good to see Spurs fans have a meltdown, because they have been speaking about, them going for the league and being successful, and I don't feel like they have really done that this season so far. But yeah, I really, really hope that they don't do that. But if they did lose those points, I probably wouldn't process it, because apparently this happened 15 years ago and it's now been brought up. So I hope this doesn't happen to us, because I feel like being relegated is really awful for a club, and it's a different end of the scale to winning the league, because when you win something, you could be really points off. So yeah, it's really, really tough. Chris has also asked me, what's the fair punishment if Man City and Chelsea are guilty of breaching FFP? Now, I feel like for me, yeah, I feel like just deduct their points, please. I think if they got deducted, I feel like that would be, yeah, really good for us. I do want to kind of read you a bit about that situation. Man City has said that Man City are expected to be expelled from the Premier League as part of their punishment for breaking financial fair play rules, according to the financial fair play experts. So, yeah, I think, people have asked if they could strip them of the titles. I feel like obviously they've won what they've won last season, and I feel like maybe if it's that serious, then I think deducting points would be necessary. Um, Obviously for me, if it happened to Arsenal, I wouldn't be particularly happy. But yeah, I do feel like yeah, hope it happens to both Chelsea. Obviously Chelsea are having a much better season, but I'm not going to complain. If Spurs, Chelsea, and Man City have that happen to them, I'm just going to sit here, be happy, and not complain because, yeah, do you think it is probably for the best? So yeah, we'll have to definitely see what happens in that situation. But as I've mentioned, we do play Brentford at the weekend, and obviously the club football is back on, which is absolutely what we want to see. Really, really excited to see the Premier League back in action. The international break, I can't say it properly, excites me sometimes. But obviously it's always nice to see Declan Rice, Saka get those opportunities to play. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning into my stream. I'm going to be back tomorrow with an Arsenal fan to chat a bit more about what they think of our season, a bit more about Arsenal. So yeah, I will be back tomorrow at 6:30. So looking forward to chatting with you guys again. But if you can, I'm trying to get to 2K. A big thank you for helping me to reach 1,900 subscribers. It really means a lot. And we're trying to do a giveaway at 2K as well. So please do smash the like button to subscribe to my channel if you can. Really appreciate your support all over the internet recently. It doesn't go unnoticed, and a big thank you to everyone for always having my back, supporting me with my journey on YouTube, and I hope you guys have an amazing evening, whatever you're doing, and I will see you all very soon.